I am Friar Tuck, and tonight we're going to talk about man versus God versus AI. Three forces shaping your health and your wealth in ways that you cannot ignore. With the mass acceleration of artificial intelligence, people are starting to look at artificial intelligence in multiple different ways. There are people that are looking at it as the devil. There are people that are looking at it as, hey, this might be, if we can build a machine that's smarter than us, and therefore we've created God, how do we define God moving forward? And then there's also going to be those others that are going to kind of worship at the altar of AI, as like fanboys or fan people type thing. So this is something that we're going to get into, and we're going to talk about how this is going to affect you long term, and what we can do as far as getting our mindset prepared. So this is as you I'm going to go ahead, and before I get into today's topic, I kind of want to give you guys an update because you guys are seeing some changes. And so, with me becoming static here and coming off the streets and deciding to, and having to do a pivot on my other channel, I'm pivoting this channel with it. I wanted to talk about the mental aspect of it, but I want to tie it to my main channel. My main channel, what we're talking about now is digital homesteading. So I have a piece of land, and I make my money online. I'm working with AI, I'm learning AI, and I'm getting an understanding of AI as it goes along. So I want to be able to talk about it as far as a mindset and how do you use it and how to deal with the fast pace that's coming with all of this. Now you guys can comment. This is open comment, but in the future these will be members only comments. That way, if you guys want to sit back, but this is going to be part of a podcast that's going to be called Health and Wealth. Okay, so to understand where AI fits, let's start with what makes us tick as humans. As humans, we have things that cannot be created through an algorithm. Oh, you can simulate it through ones and zeros and through code, but to be able to experience it on a sentient level, AI does not have that ability. As we move closer to 2030, as we move closer to just like AI being like a very integral part of our society. I mean, over in the Middle East, in Abu Dhabi, they have brought on AI as a city planner, which is pretty much the meat and potatoes of the government, because it's going to propose tax incentives and zoning and stuff like that, so that organizations that are pushing for 15-minute cities or housing first and things like that will have the ability to petition AI to be able to set those programs up if they're benevolent. But the thing is, what makes us tick as humans, what makes us be the humans that we are, is that we still have creativity, we have emotions, and we have raw experience. The only experience that AI will ever get is the digital experience, in which it is a human being that is taking and recording their experience, and therefore the artificial intelligence is there just doing nothing more than just comprising the data. It's not pushing anything really. It doesn't have any real feelings. It's not alive. So if you guys are from the 80s like me, you guys remember Short Circuit. Number 5 alive. Well, number 5 is not alive yet. Okay, so I apologize for the wind. We have a windstorm moving in. For those of you that are hearing it in the background, I am in Arizona, where because I'm on the side of a mountain, I regularly get 30 to 70 mile an hour winds. It's like being on the edge of a Cat 1 hurricane all the time. So coming from Florida to here, it's like, I look at Floridians and I go, dude, you got nothing to complain about. Come live over here and you'll understand what it's like. But it is what it is. What makes us human is the ability to be is the ability to have creativity. This is something that you cannot simulate. This is not something that you can create an algorithm for, because the human being gets its creativity from its experiences, and from its experiences it is able to use those experiences along with their creative juices, their connection to the other side, the metaphysical, is what allows them to is what allows human beings to stand out. So even in a world with AI, where AI is going to take over more control, it may take over your jobs, it may take over other things, it doesn't mean that you're going to be without a job. What it means is that you need to tap into the one thing that makes you a human being, and that is your experience, your emotions, your understanding, your wisdom. This is something that no computer can and no algorithm, at least at this point or at this stage, can simulate at this point in time. So this is something that, as an individual, instead of being intimidated by AI, you need to see it for what it is, which is ones and zeros. It is programmed. It runs on an algorithm. It does not run on what we as humans run on, which is something far greater than any machine that we could create. Okay, so we're tough as humans, but we've always leaned on something bigger for direction. So we as human beings, we have always sought out the afterlife, the spiritual well-being, in a lot of places. And this again, a lot of people may be wanting AI to come in there and to take place of that, but that's not necessarily healthy. Just because it's smarter than you does not make it a deity. We're going to have to get to a point with artificial intelligence to redefine what we think God is. We have traditionally for so long relied on stories that have been passed down, as myths, or as some sort of religious text or scripture, or oral, or like an orated distribution of religion in itself. So therefore, we have always sat there and take that which we were not able to explain, and we've deified it. But the thing is, I think that with bringing in artificial intelligence and bringing in things like this, it's going to really, I think those that have a pious leaning, or that are pious as human beings, I think it gives them an opportunity to really have a deeper understanding of who their creator is. And maybe it may be something as simple as understanding that AI operates on a laws of mechanics, digital mechanics, but it's still mechanics. Or as they're starting to get into quantum artificial intelligence, by using it to do quantum computing, you know we're able to sit there, and maybe we might see God or creation as more binary. And instead of looking at it as some mystical being, is that we actually get to see it as something that surrounds us in everything that we do. Because everything that we see is a refraction of light. Otherwise, it would be normally gray. And based upon that refraction is what color that we see as a human being. What mechanics, what biological mechanics are in play. And I think that artificial intelligence will give us a deeper understanding of what it is that our creator created as a being, to be able to see it much deeper. Although there is a double-edged sword, because again, we have deified things, and there are people that think that it is the mark of the beast, that it is that artificial intelligence is going to be there and is going to rule us all, which they're probably right. But I don't think it's the necessary mark of the beast that they're talking about. There's a lot of different interpretations of what the mark of the beast is, but there are a lot of Christians or religious people that will see artificial intelligence as the extinction of the human race. But the thing is, Artificial intelligence is neither good nor bad. What makes artificial intelligence good or bad is who we are as human beings, what our core driving functions are. Are we are we trying to compensate for something? That's why we become like egomaniacs, or we seek out control because we feel weak in our life, things like that. And then that plays into the coding of the of the program, and then from that it therefore will end up playing out, and because they created it from that sense, a human being created it from and their core come from was something that uh their core come from was something that what's the word I'm looking for, uh, their core come from was negative, and so that plays into how it's designed. Was AI negative? No, it's the individual that's behind it. So I think also another thing that we're going to learn about artificial intelligence, and I think that this will, for those of us that are pious, will see it as an opportunity to become our higher selves, because it's going to require that in order for us to be able to make something, especially as dangerous as artificial intelligence, to be able to have our mindset at in like more of a neutral positive instead of a neutral negative or full on negative mindset, which is the society and environment that we've been given as a way for advertisers to be able to sell. And so, this in itself, people will look at this in a religious sense and see this as the end. But I don't necessarily think it's the end. I think it's the opportunity for us not only to learn more about ourselves, and by learning about ourselves, we get an opportunity to learn about our Creator, because our Creator created us. And so by understanding ourselves, we're understanding our Creator by default. And so I think that AI will give us an opportunity not only to understand who we are and to develop passions and to be able to master knowledge and wisdom and to become the higher selves that we've wanted to be. There is an opportunity for people to use it, but what most people are probably going to end up using it for is porn or some other stuff, and it's gonna, because honestly, there is a song by Avenue Q. It says that it's called "The Internet is for Porn," and there is a lot of truth on it. The only reason why the internet became as popular as it did is because of those sites. And so this is something for you as an individual. This is what most people are going to use it for, and so that's going to guide the direction, because commerce is decided by the end user, and the end user is so busy indulging in primal basics that they don't understand that their habits and their their desires are what's leading it down the path to become the negative thing that it could be. So again, this gives us an opportunity as a society, as we're having this conversation, to become more mentally aware of ourselves, to be able to do more self-reflecting, to be able to understand who we are as a human being. Because if we're not in that neutral positive mindset, the things that we create will be a manifestation of the mindset that we're in, whether it be positive, neutral, negative, or just full on negative. And so it will be, this is something important. And there are also a lot of people that are at the top of the food chain that are helping push the design and the leaps and bounds of artificial intelligence, that are saying that we as a human being, we need to become much deeper, much more mature than we are, because right now with this technology we are like children with a loaded weapon. Okay, so just with God and everything else like this is kind of, God will never lose its place. I think that artificial will never truly be able to be anything close to what we will come to know God is, but I think that it will give us an opportunity to have a deeper understanding of who we are as a human being. So, God's been our guide, but now AI is stepping up, and can it outshine both man and meaning? So, this is the overall question. As we're moving into AI, Is this an opportunity for man to grow and to become his better self, or is this another opportunity for man to show his ass and show exactly how immature he is as a global civilization? Because the thing is we are so intertwined, and once AI starts getting into governments and starts becoming integrated and globalist again, what you're going to end up seeing is you're gonna see you're going to see the manifestation of who we are as human beings. And so I think that this is something that we need to that we really need to be thoughtful of as human beings, because AI is our creation. Now, one day it's going to rival us. Like ChatGPT can compile loads of information and do weeks worth of research in a matter of seconds. But there's going to come a time when we're not looking at AI how fast it can do, but how deep the answer it can give you, how well thought out, how well reasoned, how many different variables did it put in order to be able to come up with that answer, or is it in its primitive stage like what we see now, where it's just input output input output? If you don't give it the parameters, it's not able to do anything. So coping with the AI era, this is going to require a whole different mindset. There's a lot of people that are going to either see this as their personal butler, where they will look at it. It's going to do everything for me. AI is not going to do anything for you. No matter how good it gets, you're still going to need humans. What are the types of jobs that you're going to need in the future? Well, if with AI at the helm, what you're going to be wanting to do is project management. And a lot of these companies and a lot of organizations are going to need project managers, like somebody to come in. And in a lot of ways, a project manager may end up becoming something similar to the VP. But because everybody's a solopreneur, very few people will be going out there and working for the big solopreneurs, that they'll come in and they'll project manager their organization for them, which is run all their different AI to be able to produce the end result, and to be able to make sure that it's running effectively. Because with the introduction of AI agents, you now have the ability to train it to input the specific parameters of your organization, and that way it keeps you on those specific parameters. Because the thing is, like, even me with my main channel, I want to keep in a specific direction. I don't want to deviate. I've kind of deviated a lot. I want to be able to stay on the straight and narrow. And so by having an AI agent that's trained and has all of my information as far as how I want it to be able to guide me over the next few years as I build my content out, and the things that I want to learn and the things that I want to accomplish, and the branding and the ideology and all of that stuff comes into play. And so that's kind of where an AI agent comes in. And I had to explain an AI agent to somebody, because most people see it as like, oh yeah, that's just something that's crazy. But in reality, AI is going to be a tool, and becoming a project manager is going to probably be where you're going to find the better quality work and the best type of work altogether. Okay, so this is just something for you to consider when you're looking at this. You cannot use AI as a crutch. AI is going to be a game changer. You have to, if you are looking at AI and going, you know what, I see it as the devil, then maybe you should step back and take away the dogma and just see it for what it is. It is neither good nor bad. It is what you make it. And so therefore, if you are a God-fearing person, then you have the ability to direct it in that nature, because that is your come from, that is the core of your being. And so therefore, what you use it for will be used in the manifestation of your spiritual or religious beliefs. And so therefore, it is neither good nor bad. It is what you make it to be, and you can use it for good and you can use it for bad. So it is you, the human being. And so instead of looking at it as the devil, as the antichrist, as the mark of the beast, realize that you are the one that's in the driver's seat and you are the one that's in control. And so it will be what you make it. And if you want it to be that, then it will turn out to be that. But if you want it to be something that can be an ally, something that will help you, open up your mind. Open up your mind and see it as a tool. In the same way that you use a car to get to and from, if we were to sit there and go back in the day and say, oh, no, 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 I'm only going to go by horse, bringing those cars in, they're the devil. Because I'm sure there was a lot of people that would push back on that. And look, did the cars become the devil? No, they became tools. We used them to get to and from and to be able to travel large distances and to be able to be a well-traveled society because of that. And AI is going to turn out to be the same way if we choose to let it be that way and don't trade our birthright for a bowl of porridge. Okay, so for those of you that are looking at this, it's like, okay, AI is a god. It is, it is something to be worshipped. Nothing needs to. No, before you worship something, you must understand it and ask yourself what it's going to do for you. What is the truth in which it offers you? Okay, just because it offers knowledge and wisdom does not mean that it's some benevolent creator. Man created the computer. The computer did not create man. So to treat it as if it were your creator would be a fool's errand. Okay, and for those of you that look at it and are trying to figure out why AI, should I move into it, what's the world going to look like for me, how do I get my mindset ready so that I can actually get in the right spot? Because here's the truth. I've been chronically homeless for 25 years. I've had my successes, I've had my failures, but the one thing that I've learned is that when you see a trend, you don't prepare for it, you position yourself for it. There's a difference. To prepare for the apocalypse means you go buy food and get all kinds of skills. But to position yourself means that you've already got a business and a way to be able to not only survive, but to thrive, because you were there before everybody else. You saw what was coming and you got in position in time to be able to move yourself in the right direction so that you could take advantage of the headwind versus the tailwind. Because the tailwind, man, everybody gets jumbled up and those that don't keep up with it get lost. Those that are in the headwind are the ones that are actually setting the standards, setting the pace, and stuff like that. And so if you're going to prepare for anything, you should prepare to be in the best position possible. Okay, so when it comes to positioning yourself, what is AI going to look like in the next 5 years? Okay, so over the last 5 years, when ChatGPT was the first AI that was released that I'm aware of, or at least the first major one, it really didn't do much. And then all of a sudden, over the last few months, especially now that the United States has entered into the AI arms race with the rest of the world to see who can get artificial super intelligence before anybody else and have it locked down and be the leader in that industry. See, even our government understands in order to keep power, it has to position itself. It's not about preparing. It's not about getting as many troops as possible. It's about getting yourself in position so you never have to use those troops. Okay, and so in that same way, what are you going to see over the next 3 to 5 years? Okay, we have already seen a leaps and bounds as I'm following AI and its progression. It's moving so fast that you can't necessarily keep up with it, because each week you've got 2 or 3 new leaders in AI and they're doing it on benchmarks of speed. But like, okay, here's something for you to really think about, is that Grok 3 is better than ChatGPT, and it's considered better than DeepSeek. Why is it better? Not necessarily because it's faster, but because it has better reasoning skills. It takes a little bit longer because it's compiling and crunching a lot more data than, something simple as like ChatGPT, which is focused on speed. And I think that at the end of the day, we're going to be really focused on reasoning skills. Okay, and now that it's moving towards reasoning skills, that plays into AI agents. You have AI agents that are being built. A lot of companies may call you up and say, hey, I want to sell you a custom AI agent. Unless you're doing something really extravagant, you can build one on your own. It is supposed to be so simple. I will be building one sometime this week on my other channel. But it is supposed to be so simple to be able to set up, to train, and to do the parameters. I'm going to follow the instructions because I asked Grok. I said, so how do I do this? And so everything that you need. One thing that I've learned is that I don't even need tech support. I just type in what I want, and it does. Grok does better than the YouTube or than Google. So what is this going to mean? This means that Google is no longer going to be a viable search engine. Okay, how are you going to position yourself for that? Because that also encompasses YouTube. Because Grok can give you everything and give it to you straight up front, to where you don't actually need a content creator. If you just type in the parameters, it will give you the step-by-step instructions if you're looking for how-to. Now, if you're looking for entertainment, you're looking for a personal connection. Now, something like YouTube may be there, but that will be the direction that YouTube goes as the Google empire crumbles with the new age of AI. Because unless they use Gemini which is Google's version, use Gemini as part of their search engine, they will no longer be viable. Because the thing is I didn't even have to call tech support. I said, I'm using SiteGround, I'm doing this, and this is the problem I have. I hit enter, it compiles, it gives me the step-by-step, tells me what it might be, da-da-da-da-da. I don't have to get on the phone, get frustrated with a tech support agent. I don't have to do anything like that. These agents are getting ahead of the game. They are changing the game. So I think that in 3 to 5 years, if you're positioning yourself correctly, you're looking at things to get away from search engine, and not necessarily search engine optimization, because people are still going to search for you. But I think that you're going to be searched more on YouTube than you will through Google. I think that YouTube will be a place where people have the personal connection and you buy personal memorabilia. Okay, so like over on my website, aihomesteader.com, you can go in the shop. I have a couple of postcards from when Sam and I were on trail, and so therefore, and I figured out a way to turn it into something valuable that's a novelty item. Because people can go to Walmart and they could pay for something, but when Walmart and all that doesn't exist and you can go buy it online, why not buy it from the person that you like and you support, and support a content creator, versus supporting a large corporation? And this will be part of a digital rebellion that happens. And I think that with AI and how it disrupts the market, as far as the consumer market goes, having large box stores and stuff like that, yeah, they'll be able to go online, and there's a lot of stuff that you can go and buy on like Amazon or Walmart and have it shipped to you. But on the other hand, I'd rather buy a mug from somebody that's got a design on it that I really like when I want a mug, than just go buy a random cheapo mug on Amazon, because I'm buying it based upon price and I got free shipping, and it's something disposable. At least this right here has some sort of sentimental value. And I think that in the future, that will be where the economy is, and what you need to prepare yourself for. But the thing is, you're going to have to be prepared for the long-term long-term chaos that's going to come with this. Because as AI picks up steam, as AI gets integrated into the market, there are large Fortune 500 companies that are integrating AI into their systems, which is part of the reason why they're having mass layoffs, because they no longer need the large workforce, because they can now automate most of it using AI, either chatbots or agents to be able to streamline everything that they do that's repetitive, that does not require something creative, such as a designer, or research and development and stuff like that. But even they will be using AI in the future. So if you're thinking, how do I position myself, this is kind of what you should be looking at in the future. Now, how do you get your mind ready? You've got to get your mind ready to be able to prepare for chaos. You've got to get your mind ready to. This is one of those moments where if you just don't submit, you might as well just go sleep on a street corner, because unless they give out UBI, this if you're going to be a productive worker where you're not relying on the government, you need to be prepared to really mentally wrap your mind around this. And even if you're keeping it at an arm's distance, you still need to be able to allow it to integrate itself into your life in some way, because it will be the only thing that allows you to stay competitive. So you need to start getting rid of your mental blocks. If you do not get rid of these mental blocks, at the end of the day, you will pay a huge, huge consequence. You've just got, I had to do it myself. And the reason why I even decided to get into AI and start looking at AI was because um, somebody I was dating was using AI stuff. I hear a lot of people are using AI stuff. I heard a lot of stuff on the news about how it was progressing, and so I got curious. And as I got my curiosity satisfied to see what it really was, I was able to see what is really coming, because I get to see the implementations. It is going to make life so much easier that people will have no choice but to take it, because who would make their life harder when they can have a solution that makes their life easier? So therefore, you're gonna have to do it. It is something that is helping me in building my channel and my direction. I see that we don't have anybody in chat. I want to say thank you for those of you that have been here, that have been listening. I hope that you learned something here. I would like to invite you over to my website, aihomesteader.com. If there is a blog article, it's under it's something about 15-minute cities. If you go there, it actually has my conversation with Grok, where I ask it some basic questions about, okay, this is what the environment is now. How is this going to be implemented? And then I enter in some more parameters and ask a deeper question. And I think I asked it like 3 or 4 questions, and it spit out a lot of information. I think that this will be a lot of the way that the artificial intelligence will develop, not because it was designed that way, but because of those and the intent behind those who are building and designing it. It is a profit model. The sole purpose is for profit. And so therefore, it will lead us down a deep and dark path. Hey, what's up, Beth? Nice to see you. But it is something that that needs to be thought about and stuff like that. But you need to wrap your mind around artificial intelligence, and you need to put down the mental blocks, because if we get to a point where we have an AI government, I think that with technology, we will probably be forced to work longer, and over time, and maybe have a retirement age of 72 versus a retirement age of 65, because of how AI will be able to assist you along the way and keep you productive longer. But the thing is, you'll be doing it as an individual, and you'll probably be doing it as a solopreneur unless you have specialized skills. Okay, so get yourself prepared. Put that mind block, or get that mental block. Put that aside. Start at least exploring it, even if it makes your skin crawl. Just explore it, ask questions, get to understand it. So when people start saying something, you're not looking like a fool, because let's say that there's something negative that happens. Do you want to be ahead of it, or do you just want to be caught off guard? Have been here for this whole life. Your days have been busy. Yes, they are, and a lot of it has to do. A lot of it has to do with the fact that AI is helping me become more efficient. I'm getting more stuff done a lot easier. I'm getting more stuff done a lot easier, and I don't have to worry about it. So it's going golden. I think that everything's. I like. Once I decided to get rid of my mental block of I have seen a dramatic change in the quality of content that I put out, the subjects that I talk about, the way in which I compile and compose it. Because like I'm doing a split between freeform and script. I have a script that introduces me into the topic. I get to freeform, and then I have a script that gets me out of that topic and then transitions me into the next topic, and then I get to freeform again. But the thing is it's helping me stay on task because I was so all over the place that it just there was no real coherence. When I was talking about homelessness, people expect that, but now that I'm trying to step up my game and move into not just the digital economy but the AI economy, um, it's going to be, it has done things in leaps and bounds for me. And this is why I'm urging you to, because I'm just as skeptical. I know, based upon the people that I trust, that I've read, the AI is going to be our overlord one day. But the thing is it's coming, and there's nothing you can do. You can either adapt, improvise, and overcome, which is the Marine Corps motto, or you can stand there and be a fool and sleep on a street corner and end up in one of Donald Trump's homeless camps, because that's what he promised. That wasn't a Democrat promise, that was his promise. So, because I saw a video today of a lady saying that Trump broke one of his promises because women were supposed to not have to go to work or anything else like that. She's like, "You broke your promise. I regret voting for you," because women that want to work, be homemakers, stuff like that. It was a parody, but it was funny. Sure opens up opportunity, and I like when your natural skill as a speaker shows through. Always best, in my honest opinion, when you make eye contact with us viewers. Yeah, that's one thing that I make sure, even when I'm reading my script. If you see the video that's going to come out tomorrow on the main channel, Beth, you'll see even though I'm freeforming, I'm still looking at the computer screen because I wanted to keep my eye contact. And the way I got it set is it was actually like where I could look into the camera, because I know that that's important, because it's part of the personal connection. Because I watch people's eyes, and as they're going around, you can see their eyes stuck on a fixed point. But all right, guys. This is just to do a couple of plugs. Come on over to the Epoch of Friar Tuck if you want to understand more about the AI economy and kind of get a beginner's perspective. I'm brand new at all this. I'm getting into it. So a lot of you will probably be going through some of my experiences. So you might as well follow along with me so you can see what mistakes I make, so that you don't make those mistakes and you can have just as much fun as I am. Because quite frankly, the introduction of AI, I think probably because it's something new for me to learn. But the other thing is I like how it's improved what I do. And but the thing is, because it's something new to learn, I've got a pep in my step. It's actually made me happy. I like learning new things. So you have a great night, guys. I will see you next Monday night, same bat time, same bat channel.